Hi everyone, welcome back to Invest with Rich. If you are new here, welcome to my channel where I teach busy working adults how to grow their money. So remember to like and subscribe so that we can do more of these videos and it helps with the engagement as well. Now, today I want to talk about something that is very, very interesting, which is what just happened to the stock market. And in the last couple of days, I think the stock market has been very, very volatile, and we had a lot of news going on. So I just want to take you guys through what just happened. Okay, so um, the stock market has been very, very shaky for the last couple of days because of three main reasons. And reason number one is because we just had our release of the jobs, which is the job openings and also the job cuts. And what happened in December is that the US job openings actually fell to 6.5 million, and it's down from November's 6.9 million. So it's about 400, almost 400 jobs that was gone. And also it's I think compared to last year in December, which is I mean 2024's December at the same time period 1 year ago, it was 7.5 million. So we actually lost about 1 million jobs, almost 1 million jobs. So that's why everybody is panicking and worrying what's going on, because the labor market is usually one of the biggest indicator of whether the economy is doing well or not. Okay, and we also see, okay, in January there is a lot of companies cutting jobs as well. Some of the main reasons is because of contract losses that they have mentioned over here. Let me get my clicker. Yep. A lot of contract losses back in January as well, and a lot of restructuring, a lot of closing of departments. And one of the main reasons that companies did cited why they um cutting these jobs is because of none other than AI. Okay, so AI is responsible for about 7,600 plus job cuts in January, okay, which is about 7%. And a lot of the AI companies, they also reference AI for one of their job cuts as well. Okay, so this is one of the biggest reasons, and a lot of people think that AI is going to replace a lot of jobs, which is coming true as well. And it says here it's difficult to say how big of an impact AI is having on layoff, especially. Okay, but we do know that it plays a very, very big part as well. Okay, now if we actually look at the second reason, right, is also because the interest rates and also the Fed Chair Reserve, who is going to be changed in May of this year. Okay, let me just clear off my drawings. Yeah, so everybody knows that Jerome Powell is stepping down in May, and we know that we do have a new candidate that Trump has selected. So we know that from now until May, most likely Jerome Powell is not going to do anything. Okay, he's not going to make big changes towards the end of his term as well. So we do see that the next meeting is in March, 18th of March 2026, in about 1 month plus time. And we do see that a lot of people are very confident that Jerome Powell is going to stick to the rates. We are not going to do anything. So that's why people are very afraid, and also the market is so volatile within this couple of days. Okay, now another thing is also the third reason, which is Anthropic. Okay, Anthropic, which owns Claude, has been doing a bunch of launches recently, and the recent launch that they put out, okay, which is called Optus 4.6, and it says here that it's moving towards the vibe working era. Okay, so vibe coding has been around for a long time, and now the recent things that Anthropic has launched, the AI model, is better at coding. It can sustain longer tasks. Okay, higher work quality, and also because Anthropic has also launched the Claude Co-work, which actually release a lot of information to the public, and what people are expecting is that all these AI agents is gonna take over a lot of the mundane tasks, like let's say marketing, coming out with social media posts, marketing, copywriting as well. And even myself, I have been learning about Claude for the last couple of days because I know that it's gonna be very, very big as well. So yeah, so a lot of companies are transitioning to vibe working. They're using AI to replace a lot of their operational stuff, and even some of the sales calls that you receive on the other end is actually AI. Okay, so a lot of these things are going on, and that's why a lot of people are very skeptical about the markets. Okay, so which is why recently I also took some profits on my Meta. Okay, because I think that is going pretty well. Okay, I have taken some profits, 134% is in 3 months. Okay, which is pretty good, and I actually rotated it into Microsoft. Okay, because when I saw that Meta actually reached pretty high, I actually took some profits. Okay, let me show you guys what actually happened. Okay, now actually when Meta was, I think, on the 30th of December, if I'm not wrong, actually Meta did a gap up. Okay, which is why I actually took some profits. And after that, it did went all the way down. Okay, I actually took profits to rotate it into Microsoft, which also released one of their earnings on the same day, and it did tank. Okay, so it went opposite ways. That's why I actually made the switch. Okay, so Meta, in my opinion, is actually a pretty good price right now. To actually have to own some if let's say you do not have any in your portfolio. Okay. Now I also want to share a little bit as well on Google earnings. Okay. So Google, as you all know, they have been taking a hit as well. But actually, their Q4 earnings are actually very good numbers. Okay, 17% on year-on-year revenue growth in the search, and also Gemini, okay, which is very competitive as well compared to OpenAI's ChatGPT. Okay, I have been using Gemini also very much as well. Okay, so increased monthly active users. Their YouTube revenues is also doing very well, 60 plus billions increase. And also their cloud computing, and also for their AWS side, sorry, not AWS, on their other businesses, they are doing very well. Okay, but however, we saw that actually Google did went down in the last couple of days because everyone is very scared. Everyone is very afraid of what's going to happen, and that's why they are very eager to take some profits, and that's why you see the price going down very quickly as well. Okay, same for Amazon. Okay, when we're talking about net sales, they actually increase 14%, which is actually it's a very big number. Okay, it's 213 billion in the fourth quarter. Okay, compared to the fourth quarter in 2024, which is 187 billion. Okay, and we also see increases in their North America segment. International sales as well increased 17% year on year, and their AWS sales is also increased by 24%. Okay, so very amazing numbers, results, same as Google. However, we see that Amazon is taking a very big hit. It's down 12% for the last month, and I think today it is down about 5.5%. Okay, so I do think that all these companies, they are very good opportunities right now. And if you don't own companies like this, or you have some cash that you wish to deploy, I think these are very amazing opportunities. And when we look at the Max 7, okay, it is doing pretty. I mean, there are some points of entries that I think you guys can have a look as well. Tesla, I think it's going into the 300 range. Okay, almost. I think it did tap on the 200 days EMA, and it did went up a little bit. Okay, also really TA wise is a very good entry point. If we look at Google, I showed you just now already. Okay, over here, it did come down a little bit. Okay, just briefly touching the 50 days EMA. I think there is a pretty good support over. No, I think Google has been doing quite well. It's not been really affected by the OpenAI saga. I think same for Apple, which hasn't been really affected that much by the open AI drama that's going on, where people think that OpenAI has spent too much money on their AI, and they have a lot of money to return to their investors. So Apple is a very retail company that hasn't really been affected. You see that it did take a little dip over here. But it is growing very, very steady back up to its all-time high. Okay, whereas the other companies, just now I did show you guys Amazon, as well, Google. Yeah, so the Max 7, I think only Apple and Google is doing quite okay. When we look at Microsoft, okay, which I did enter recently as well. Okay, it's actually TA wise, it's really a very, very good point of entry. Okay, but I do need to caution you guys, because actually, Microsoft has come down to one of the gaps over here that we actually seen in last year. Okay, when we had all the tariffs going on, I think when we made a recovery for Microsoft, there was a gap up. Okay, so that's why over here we actually has filled up the gap. Okay, but maybe this is the point where we want to see that it actually bounces back up. Okay, yesterday we did see that it bounced a little bit back up. Okay, so hopefully in the next couple of days of the trading days, we do see that it has a reversal, and then we can select any point of entry. Okay, but just like I said, a lot of opportunities now in the market. I hope that you guys are taking opportunity to enter as well, and do not miss out on all these little pockets of opportunities, because like 5 years down the road, you will always think to yourself, I should have entered at this point of time where there is a very, very good entry. Okay, so my take is always think long term and also stay in the market. Do not panic. Do not sell your position just on impulse or fear. Make sure that all your strategies, all the companies that you've been investing in, is really companies that you do have strong convictions in. And that's why I think my students and I, we are able to not panic during this period and really just deploy our bullets bit by bit. Okay, so remember to invest safely, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.